Okay, this is going to be a prediction video on the recent boxing event taking place at Kaiser Center Friday, 19 December 2025 in Dubai. Okay, Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul headlining it. So my first predictions on the co-main, which will be Anderson da Silva versus Tyron Woodley. Then later I'm going to give my prediction on the main event, which is Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. Starting off, co-main. Now, Anderson da Silva, Tyron Woodley, anyone who's who in the MMA fandom know these two infamous people. Anderson da Silva, the Spider, one of the GOATs in the middleweight division, reigning supreme back in the early 2000s, back in the era when GSP, Glover Teixeira, Chael Sonnen, John Jones in his prime, even Daniel Cormier in his prime, Stipe in his prime. There's another one. Vanderlei Silva, Chris Weidman, all those guys. He was reigning supreme in the middleweight. He was middleweight champion. Then he defended it against Chael Sonnen. Went all 5 rounds. He was losing 4 out of 5, and then he picked up the last fifth round by submission, and he retained the title. So he's facing off against Tyron Woodley, who was the welterweight UFC champion at one point. This was mid-2015s, 2010 and 2015, 2020, somewhere around there. The chosen one, Tyron Woodley, welterweight. He was good back in the day. When he was champion, no one's touching him. But after he lost against Usman, he went on to lose against Gilbert Burns, Kobe Covington, Lukey. If you lose against Kobe Covington, it's done. Just leave. Like Kobe, if you're losing to Kobe, it's done. Like, you can't get back from that. Anyone who's lost against Kobe, just retire your gloves, just step away. You know it's time. Anyway, so he's fighting Anderson da Silva in a boxing event, which is not new for either one of them, because Anderson da Silva versus previously, I think 2 years ago, Jake Paul in a boxing event. Of course, Jake Paul won because he has less mileage than Anderson, even though his striking's on point. It's on point, but he did lose. Anyway, Jake Paul also versus Tyron Woodley twice. Brutal knockout against Tyron Woodley in the first round. In the first match. Then they ran it back, and Jake Paul won again the second match by unanimous decision. So they have one common factor, and it's that they've both fought Jake Paul, and they both lost against Jake Paul, but now they're fighting one another. I have to go with Anderson, the Spider Silva, to win. It's just based on the fact, even though he has more mileage, he's almost, I think he's past his 50th year. I think he's 51. Tyron Woodley's like late 30s, so we all know that Anderson is a lot of mileage, but his striking is just pristine. He's way better striking than Tyron Woodley. Tyron Woodley has the mass, but he doesn't really have the skill. The skill set in boxing is different to the skill set in MMA. And Anderson is just, he's on point. So he's going to win, I predict. Unanimous decision is going to go all the way. I don't think Anderson's going to win by TKO or knockout or any stoppages. I think it's going to go all the way. I think Tyron Woodley's really improved his jaw since Jake. And I think it's going to be a unanimous victory for Anderson. Anyway, moving on to the main event. That's what this card is built around. So Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. I think this is set to happen 5:30 in the morning, GMT +2 SAST time. Now, Jake Paul, we all know, has one loss against Tommy Fury. Even you could say it was a robbery, it was not a robbery. Tommy Fury definitely won. Give him his laurels. And ever since then, Jake's gone on to win against Andre August, Ryan Berland, Mike Perry, Mike Tyson, believe it or not, and then Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Now, the win against Mike Tyson, the guy was in his mid-60s. Pretty certain there was a no knockout clause in that contract, and you can't really attribute anything about skills in that fight, with Mike having mileage on his record. But the win against Mike Perry and Nate Diaz and Julio Chavez Jr., those are decent wins against Jake. We've seen from his recent footwork that he is definitely improving. Him on released a recent video of him on the bag, hitting the heavy bag. His footwork is very good, very good. He knows how to place it. So I think this will be the best version of Jake we've ever seen. And even still, the person he's going up against, if he wasn't going up against the person who he is going up against, I would have Jake winning. If we had to run back the Tommy Fury fight back in 2023, Jake's winning this. Jake's winning this rematch if he were to fight Tommy Fury now. He's definitely times 2 stats and everything than from the person he was 2 years ago. But he's definitely not winning against Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua, I can list his accomplishments. It will take like an hour, but I'm just going to summarize the legacy of this prestigious man. Olympic gold medalist, 2-time IFBF heavyweight champion. It goes on and on. He's fought the greatest of the great in the heavyweight boxing, barring what's his name? Tyson Fury. Barring Tyson Fury, he's fought everyone. He's fought Usyk, he's fought Daniel Dubois, he's fought Francis Ngannou, who's not even, let's just take him out of the heavyweight boxing equation, but still. Robert Helenius, Joseph Parker, Carlos Takam. He fought Andy Ruiz Jr. Let's not forget when he won his IFBF heavyweight title against Charles Martin back in 2016. Then he defended it 4 times, 5 times. He lost it, then he won it again against Andy Ruiz in 2019. And then he retained it against Kubrat Pulev, then he lost again against Usyk. Then he lost again against Usyk. They ran it back in 2021 and then again in 2022. Losing against Alexander Usyk it's normal. Against anyone who's human to lose against Usyk. It's saying nothing to him. It's not even a smear on his record to lose against Usyk. Anyone and everyone will lose against Usyk at one point. I don't think the guy's ever lost. I mean, he's the current heavyweight title holder. Didn't Usyk win against Daniel? No, he did. Yeah, I think so. Let's not forget Anthony Joshua's previous fight in 2024, last year, September, against Daniel Dubois, where he did lose. But it went all the way, 12 rounds, 5 minutes apiece. Now, Anthony Joshua against Jake Paul, my prediction is 4th round knockout. Victory going to Anthony Joshua. I don't see Jake Paul doing anything. I don't think he can do anything to win at this point. He will survive round 1. He'll definitely survive round 1. He'll survive round 2. He might even pick up round 1 and 2 on the score sheet. When it comes to the round 3 and 4, I think Anthony's gonna move and show his class he likes to brawl, and when he brawls, it's kind of his disadvantage at some times, because the only weakness Anthony Joshua has is when he lets his hands go. He stays in that clash too long. What I mean by that is that he takes hits a bit too much when he lets his hands go. But sometimes that's the only thing you can do to get points. Yes, that's understandable, but for AJ, and I'm very nitpicking here, but that's the only thing that could be his weakness. But when it comes to Jake, is the gap to bridge at this point is insurmountable. It's not even close. It's Anthony's on an island. Jake Paul's a little rowboat. Can't even row up there. Cannot do it. To say that Jake Paul will win it's ludicrous. And I'm not taking any shots against Tyson Fury, who said that Jake Paul would win. He's not. And even Sean O'Malley, who says Jake Paul will win, he's saying that because he's in his training camp. That's the only reason. So when it comes to the prediction-wise, my predictions in tandem with Chael Sonnen, with Michael Bisping, with Wade Plem from the Wade Concept, check it out, and also Mighty Mouse, Demetrius Johnson, many people. I think the whole world will agree with me that Anthony Joshua will win. Now, what round? That is to be stipulated. I'm predicting round 4. I think mid-round 4, maybe early or mid-round 4. I don't think this fight goes beyond round 4. If it does, I think that's a win for Jake Paul. If he can survive more than round more than 4 rounds, that's a win. Even if he loses, it's still a win. Now, let's just talk about what happens if Jake Paul knocks out Anthony Joshua round 1. Let me just say that boxing as we know it, it's not going to change really because it's always been there. But Anthony Joshua is done. It's done. He's gone. He's gone. If he loses against Jake Paul round 1, he's done. He can hang up his belt. He can go start a business, play golf. He's never talking in that ring again. Never. Now, people are saying that Anthony Joshua has really lost his prestige and his ego with taking this fight against Jake Paul. I mean, why would you disrupt your entire legacy record by fighting a nobody? Well, not a nobody, but just a very, very weak opponent like Jake Paul. And it's because of money. It's because of money. $50 million. Anyone would fight Jake Paul, would fight Anthony Joshua for $50 million. Give it to me. I would get knocked out round 1 in 5 seconds, but still I would take that bag. I would take the bread of $50 million and I would just take it to the bank. So no disrespect on Anthony Joshua's name. He would do what we all would do. Take the $50 million and run. Now, if Anthony Joshua wins, literally nothing is added to his record. Nothing's taken away. He remains in a state of limbo. Now, if Jake Paul wins, it might break the internet at this point. All the haters against Jake Paul have been hating since he's made his inception at the influencer boxing scene back in the early days when he first fought Nate Robinson. Now, he's getting all the people who are against him are getting their final wish, the true dream, and that is to see Jake Paul go up against a pro boxer, a true boxer, and no other than a previous heavyweight champion, Olympic gold medalist boxer Anthony Joshua. You had to pick any fight he could take. This was the hardest one by far. Probably the hardest one would be Usyk, but Anthony Joshua is like second on that list by not a large margin. And we just have to see how Anthony Joshua knocked out Francis Ngannou, whose punch power is equivalent to getting hit by a Ford Escort moving at 100 kilometers an hour. That's Francis Ngannou, and Anthony put him to sleep that was like quick. So when it comes to the main event, I see Anthony Joshua picking up round 3, and he'll pick up round 4. If it goes past round 4, he's picking up every single other round. Jake Paul, he's not going to win any rounds besides round 1 and 2. I see a very high likelihood he's winning round 1. I see a 80% chance he's winning round 2. And in round 3, Anthony's just going to shine. You see, Anthony's paraphrasing now, in my personal opinion, in Anthony Joshua's mind, he can't go out there and knock out Jake Paul round 1. It's not going to be good for the paycheck. He's getting $50 million. He's paid, all these people have paid good money to fly to Dubai and see this event, and he ends it in like 10 seconds. That's not going to be good for anyone, so he knows that. So he's going to put on a show, let Jake Paul survive round 1, 2, pick up some momentum in round 3 and just end it in round 4. He's just going to close the book, tie a nice little ribbon on the present, and just, I can't say he's going to win a belt because there's no belt here. If they could make a most valuable promotions belt, then I guess that. And then my next video will be regarding, what's his name? Andrew Tate against Chase Demore. That's happening on Saturday, 20th. Let me just give my prediction now. Andrew Tate's going to win 100%. Bet the money on the house. He's going to win. There's no chance Chase Demore even touches him. He won't win. It's not going to be close. Never be close. It's Andrew Tate, the Cobra Tate. He is winning against Chase Demore. I don't know how people say Chase has a chance. He doesn't. It's non-existent. Absolutely non-existent. If we just had to look at Chase Demore's his initial matches in Misfits, it was horrible. The guy was throwing like he was underwater. It was so weird how the guy throws. We don't have to list Andrew Tate's accomplishments being a previous previous kickboxing world champion, 5-time world champion kickboxer. Obviously knows how to throw a kick, but does he know how to punch? And he does. Because kickboxing, you also punch as well. So, but boxing, different footwork, different load bearing, is a different game. But he's still winning.